Is it really that loud? I can't. I don't know how loud it is. It's slowing down. Yeah, it's raining in Texas. Imagine that. Figured I'd get some outside time. G-Man now claims that I have gone after Christians. Well, Steve, I'm going to address a lot of stuff. The rain will subside in a second. It's beginning of hurricane season, so there's going to be a lot of this. Well, yeah, and we just got a discussion with, I didn't get to talk to K. Rhodes, but I did get to talk to Fuzz. A little frustrated at that conversation. Nice guy, but I don't think he addressed a lot of the points that were being made, specifically in relation to phylogenetics. But the conversation for another day. But, I mean, I think it stands to say if, oh, somebody missed a turn. Yep, he missed a turn. Yeah, okay, so somebody related to me in my vicinity told me about somebody in particular named G-Man going live. And so as I was tending to some other business, I had to leave a hangout. I did catch some of that hangout. And it's really weird, and like he would I'm not sure if he feels emasculated, but like I guess he was trying to be metaphorical with, I guess, the level of discourse that he feels that is being brought to him by, I guess, comparing atheist arguments with a pellet gun or a little BB gun or something like that. But then to contrast it, he showed a nail gun, like a roofing nail. Like, anyone seen the big cartridge, like a roofing nail gun? I'm sorry, I've sold those for a living. They're not intimidating, so I'm not. Maybe it's just me. But then he got a pellet gun that was like a rifle pellet gun to contrast it against what he had just said was being brought to him. So it kind of took like the wind out of his sails that he was comparing a pellet gun to his arguments, to which he then presented a pellet gun. Like, I'm not sure if he actually thought that through, or if he knows that gun that he has is a pellet gun. Whatever. Some of us have been in the country enough to know that that's a pellet gun. But I digress. Yeah, thank you. He did do that. Was one of the strange things. Like he was, I guess, saying that Steve is somehow neutered by like G-Man supposedly has clipped off one of Steve's testicles, metaphorically speaking, and soon he'll have the other one clipped off, and then he'll have lady parts. I had to go in the I had to go in the kitchen and do a little cleaning up in there. But I was listening to it and I had to laugh, and I'm like, you can tell G-Man has never seen a woman's vagina in his life. If he thinks that a woman's vagina looks like what would happen if you snipped off a man's testicles, then that kind of tells you that he's not been inside of a vagina since a vagina had him. That's just weird. Oh, he did. Yes, yeah. Atheists worship me. No, the fuck they don't. There's a few I can think of, but there is no atheist cult that exists. I mean, it would kind of defeat the purpose of being an atheist for people to worship me. Again, this is G-Logic. This is why this is called the G-Logic podcast. Going rogue. JD is the Pope, yeah. But yeah, it was such a weird set of that. Like you could tell he was like thinking this shit on the fly, but some of that stuff looked like he was like he had kind of pre-planned it, like to show how tough he was. And I forgot in the other video, he was like he started out working out like he got the fucking the free weights and like. Oh, fuck me. That's, oh my goodness. Oh, I gotta talk to him. But yeah, like, it is great entertainment. But for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I gotta get the name. See, I got that notification last night when he did the Know Your Bible thing. I didn't watch it because that was just stupid. But let me give you the name of the video he just made. More proof atheists don't exist. And so, simultaneously, atheists don't exist, but we are also polytheists. Someone explain that shit to me. I'm still trying to understand that one. I pray to drag man boobs at least 3 times a day. Oh, you're so cute. Like I'm seriously having a hard time understanding some of his positions because, well, they don't make sense. But there's some really good comments. Oh, it says there's 8 comments. Looks like he's deleted quite a few comments in here. Man, that's amazing. It's almost like he's sensitive. He doesn't want people to address certain things. Yeah, he was trying to make an argument for polytheism again, which he fucks up. Oh, and by the way, folks, I'm actually going to have a polytheist in our community come on and explain what polytheism actually is, because he was quite offended that G-Man is calling people polytheists, and of course G-Man doesn't understand words, language, concepts, breathing, you name it. Like there's a multitude of things that he doesn't understand. Polytheism now being added to that list. So I will have Oceans Keltoy on, and he is going to explain to folks what polytheism is, what it means to be a polytheist, and actually he's going to go into why polytheism is better than monotheism. That should be a treat. So yeah, one of the things in this video that was pretty funny was that, and I should have actually downloaded it, was that now he's trying to walk back his claims about Steve's definition of atheism. That's something I caught on to, because I think now he's starting to realize that maybe Steve doesn't speak for everybody. Maybe Steve's definition of atheism is the same one that's been used since, I don't know, forever, and maybe the fact that Steve referred to it as philosophical atheism kind of points out what he was referring to, and that maybe, just maybe, it was G-Man that didn't understand. But yeah, go watch. I gotta find a timestamp. but he actually starts trying to walk back his claim because he makes reference to the historical meaning of atheism, and so he does offer, you know, a little bit. I'll try and give G-Man some credit. He does try to acknowledge that maybe he doesn't understand where Steve is coming from, and maybe that Steve is using the historical definition. So that to me indicates, yeah, I think he knows he's fucked up, but that's kind of been my position the entire time, is that he never understood. Actually, you know what? Let me stop right there. Because I did tell someone last night that I was supposed to explain these sets of events that have been going on, because it's just been so convoluted, so ridiculous that it's hard to follow. Alright, so let me, I don't know, it's in about, okay, I'll start in about 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. I'll start now. Okay, so, alright. This all started, fuck, it has to be at least a month, 2 months ago, where G-Man debated Thaddeus, aka the Trill Bay, aka Keefy Keefers, the Elite Hunter, aka the Canadian kid with the squeaky voice that looks like he's 12. You know who we're talking about. Alright, so Steve helped Keefy's with some of his arguments. That at no point in time did Steve say, yeah, I adopt these positions. Keefy's, from what he professes, is a mesotheist. He's, I think, one of the only ones on G Plus that I know about, at least. And so he consulted Steve, and Steve helped him make sure that some of his arguments are consistent within, I guess, the mesotheist paradigm, whatever. Again, at no time does Steve say he supports what Thaddeus is saying as far as adopting those positions. Alright. After the debate, there was an after show like there typically is, and Steve says, yeah, I think Thaddeus did a pretty good job against G-Man, but I mean, it's like, you know, it's not very hard. All you have to do is show up and not drool on yourself, and you can do a better job at presenting your argument to G-Man. It's not like it's a fucking challenge. Like, you just let him speak, and you pretty much won the day. Like, after that, G-Man started flying into a tizzy. He just started going nuts because Steve has said multiple times, yeah, I feel pretty good about the, you know, the debate that they had. I think Keefy did a good job, and I'm pretty sure he's happy that I've helped him with it. So from those statements, and I'm loosely addressing what Steve had said, somehow G-Man took some of the words that I just said, jumbled them around in his head, and spat out a few claims. One of which being Steve is an atheist. Steve has said on multiple occasions that he's not. He's an agnostic. Okay? That was one. Another is that since he has helped Thaddeus with his position, he then adopted them. Again, not what Steve said at all. One of the most egregious ones, and probably the funniest one, with the focal point position that was adopted by G-Man, or G-Man, excuse me, G-Man claimed that Steve adopted, is that you can be an atheist and believe in a God. Let me set the record straight by saying no such comment exists in no way, shape, or form. Fast forward a little bit. G-Man begins to make videos about how stupid Steve is for having such a position, to which Steve has consistently said, and everyone else in his live chat, and everyone else but G-Man, has gone, no, that's ridiculous. After being corrected on 50,000 fucking times, G-Man then makes a remark that he's going to go on the Drunken Peasants and tell them how stupid Steve is. Then he decides to play dumb and pretend as if he didn't say that, to which then he went on the Drunken Peasants and did just that, but he didn't mention Steve's name. It's somehow odd because he knows that he's live, he knows that he says things, but he doesn't remember saying them when it doesn't help his argument. It's so weird, even though he could go on his own channel and find himself saying that. Or remember that he himself said it. Fine, not a big deal, right? Steve has then made a video called G-Man Breaking the Ninth Commandment, where Steve has conveniently provided all the context to this. Hold on. Someone has a small penis and they need to tell everyone. Okay, there we go. So Steve has a video called G-Man Breaking the Ninth Commandment, in which you hear G-Man saying quite sternly what Steve's position is, which is you can be an atheist and believe in God. Steve's saying, no, that's not my position. And then G-Man telling him again, yes, that is your position. But G-Man consistently says that he has video proof, evidence that Steve has in fact said this. Now, never mind the... Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So, never mind the fact that Steve has set the record straight multiple times to G-Man in the Hangout with PZ Myers and on multiple other occasions, making videos himself on his channel, Steve that is, saying that that's not his position. G-Man insists that that is indeed Steve's position. G-Man knows. He has evidence that he has said this. Okay, fine. So, Steve made the video, G-Man Breaking the Ninth Commandment, and oh my goodness, it does show exactly that. G-Man making the threat that he's going to go on Drunken Peasants, G-Man saying that he has video proof that Steve has said this, and so on and so forth. And so, it pretty much shows proof positive that G-Man lies. Water's wet, and it's loud, evidently. So, we all know that G-Man lies. A lot. Alright, fast forward a little bit more. After the video's made, oh my goodness, G-Man flies into a tizzy. I mean, just goes fucking ape shit. Because as a Christian, lying is supposedly one of those bad things, except when he needs to do it for whatever reason, just out of impulse. And he wants to confront Steve on this, and so he calls me on my phone while I'm in a hangout with Steve and Bionic Dance and a whole bunch of other folks, and is yelling and screaming that Steve's lying, Steve's making this stuff up, even though there's video evidence of G-Man doing exactly that. And so I say, fine, instead of you calling me 9 times while I'm in a hangout because you can't get your shit together, how about you guys just talk about it? I mean, it's fairly reasonable, right? If 2 guys have a disagreement, bring them together to talk about it, work it out. Hey, I could have just said fuck you and just made fun of him because that's really easy for me to do. It takes no effort at all. I said fine, I'll even moderate this discussion. So what's a discussion? It's called a discussion. If you hear G-Man reference it, he's going to call it debate because everything is a debate to him. Just roll with it, whatever. Okay, so we have the discussion. It's on my channel. It's called G and Steve McCray. And it's, can you believe in a God and still be an atheist? Something like that, whatever. I made up the title on the spot. It features G-Man being given equal time as Steve McCray. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Oh, G-Man needs more time. 15 minutes, closing statements. The majority of the time, G-Man has me play the previous video of their previous discussion, which I just left out of this explanation because it's redundant, on the same topic. They had a discussion on my channel before about this very same thing. This is the sequel to it. So he has me play the first fucking video. Because he claims, get this, he claims in the first discussion they had that Steve had actually said that you can believe in an atheist, or believe in a God and still be an atheist. What G-Man fails to realize is that the parts that G-Man wants people to watch is G-Man telling everyone else Steve's position, not Steve himself saying this. Now, most people would go, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you say you have evidence of someone else saying something, you need to provide the evidence of that person saying it, not you regurgitating your misunderstanding. Not in G-Man's head. You can play whatever you want and call it whatever you want because facts don't really matter at the end of the day. Alright? If you don't believe me, go to G-Man's channel where he's talking about this. You can go to the original video, the original discussion. You can go to the new one, and people are asking him, "Where's the clip?" And if there, I've been on G-Man's channel, and he's read in comments when he's gone live in the last few days. People are like, "Where's this clip?" No one can find it. G-Man can't. Literally, no one has heard this clip but G-Man. He has no idea. He claimed it was on my channel. He claimed it was in the first discussion. No. It's G-Man telling Steve his position, to which Steve says, no, that's not. That's what it is. So, here we are. G-Man's upset that I had not forced Steve to concede to his straw man, that I did not force Steve to talk about the really elaborate fucking Wicker Man that is now formed from a grave misunderstanding. And so he's mad at me and Hannah and everyone else he met in New York because now he can't trust anyone. How any of this relates to G-Man's misunderstanding, I'm still trying to figure that out. It's been almost, what, a week now? I don't know. He blocked my phone number, and after he called me 9 times, and I just, like, I'm at a loss, genuinely. Like, this shit's weird, but it's fucking funny. So he does his tantrum, he does his thing where he becomes a petulant child, and, you know, never mind the fact that he still is proclaiming that, 1, atheists don't exist, and 2, all atheists are polytheists. Oh, and we're misotheists. I have no idea how that all works, but none of it's actually consistent, because he's actually not taking the time to sit down and thought about, well, if I know that they're suppressing the truth in their unrighteousness, and they believe in my God, which is the monotheism, but they also are polytheists because LaVeyan Satanism and New Age, but then they also claim that they're atheists, but they also don't exist. Oh, but they also hate God. How any of this stuff meshes together, I have no idea. He just says shit. I guarantee you he hasn't actually sat down and thought about that. Someone else has a small penis. Hold on. Okay. Alright. Yes, this is why Fiona blocked, G-Man blocked Fiona, blocked me, and Redline, everyone else. I think, this is just me completely speculating, I think he knows that Hannah is in Florida right now enjoying her time with her man, Redline. And that he can't be enjoying, you know, time with her. That's why I think, you know, but that's, like I said, completely unfounded. That's just me personally. Based on the way that he behaves and what I know about him, I think he's a jealous bitch and he can't deal with it like an adult. So, that's, like I said, completely unfounded, just me speculating. Anyway, hold on. He answered 2 of my questions, but walked away and never saw the additional follow-ups. Yeah, and I was looking at some of the live chats too, where people were asking him direct questions. Where's the clip? Where has Steve said this? Like directs, like pointing out how inconsistent his own claims are within his worldview or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And he ignores them because he knows he can't answer them. Because he lies a lot. A lot. But and again, here's just me speculating. I don't think that he realizes he lies. And it's not necessarily him intentionally lying and then pretending everyone else is stupid. That's more of somebody else that we know. But it's, he runs his mouth and he doesn't actually understand the words, because if you hear him talk about finite gods and like the infinite God, like with the Christian God, he kind of confuses that with corporeal and ethereal. Well, for one thing, he can't pronounce any of those words and he doesn't know what they mean. But if you listen to the attributes that he's trying to, that's going to be redundant, the attributes that he's trying to attribute to them, that's kind of what he's talking about. And then you'll hear him kind of, like I've been listening to him over the last few days when I get time, and he watches my videos and then he takes some of the corrections, but he doesn't actually understand what the words mean. So if he was actually, I don't know, cognizant of how his fuck-ups are way worse than misunderstandings and words, he would sit down, he would, I don't know, listen to what people have actually fucking told him about their positions, maybe write it the fuck down, sit down with a fucking children's dictionary and learn something. I don't know, go to the Stanford fucking Encyclopedia of Philosophy and look up a little bit more on the topic. You know, just get a broader sense of what some of this shit is. But he thinks that he can go to Wikipedia and fucking put in a little Google foo and just be off on the fucking races. Like, that's the funny part. But he doesn't know enough to be able to do that. He doesn't have enough background knowledge on any of this stuff to just do a little bit of Google foo and consider it a fucking victory. Because if you listen to him, you look at some of his fucking... I stole Google foo from Sam the Scientist, by the way. I love that term. I don't know where he got it from or if he made it up, but I got to start using that because it's fucking funny. But it is hilarious because he starts proclaiming victory. Every video you watch, he's proclaiming victory of some sort. How everyone else is dumb and everyone else is stupid, and it's like, okay, bro. If you feel that you need to grab your, $20 WWE title championship just to make yourself feel good, whatever helps you sleep at night, bro. Like, I grab a handful of ass to help me sleep at night, but that's just me. So, like, it baffles me as to how like some of these folks who don't even know how to articulate their own arguments go so far as to fuck up everyone else's argument and then proclaim victory. And it's like, bitch, you don't understand shit. What have you won exactly? Case in point, if he felt that he had a point, or any of these fucking clowns, they should be open to discuss it with that person. But mind you, you look at who does all the blocking, who does all the muting, who does all the censoring and all that shit, you see where the sensitivity is, because I've not blocked him. I've not blocked Arcane, I've not blocked fucking Antonio or fucking the White Whale or True or any of them. I don't. Because I have an open invitation. King Matthew too, he's a little sore up under the fucking ass. He got some sand in his fucking vagina about something. What the fuck? I don't know. But I open a hangout at the drop of a fucking dime. If I have the time. If there's something I said you think is fucking stupid, drag, you stupid, you said this, and here's a timestamp. You know what? Let's talk about it. I may be wrong. But you see that he can't take criticism, and that all he can do is talk to fucking the sack of blue barrels sitting behind him and proclaim victory. Sorry about that. If he was a real man, if he wanted to show me how tough he was, he'd say, you know what, fuck it. Steve McRae, name your platform. We're gonna go round 3. I'm tired of people saying that I'm wrong about this. And you know what? I would actually have more respect for him if he did that. But how fucking shifty he is, he's not going to do that. He's too sensitive. He's too much of a bitch. And I'm sorry, G-Man. You this is bitch-made behavior. All that shit that you did when you went and you cried to Shani and you cried to Antonio. What did you say, G-Man? I wasn't paying attention. I was on Discord and I don't even talk to the atheists because they're mean. Like, I'm sorry, you got fucking Forrest Gump in there that don't know his ass from a hole in the ground, and then you got fucking Jabba the Thirst sitting in there, and it's like you got the brain trust going on, and so but you want to convince other people that you know what you're talking about. Really? No. Let me tell you what I think happened. This is just me. This is just me being a moderator in that discussion, me sitting on the sidelines, me personally talking to fucking G-Man on the phone, asking him about this because he called me to warn, you need to tell Steve McRae he needs to apologize right now, calling me a liar because I got the dirt on him. I know stuff, and I have the links, and I have this, and I have that. And he's just animated, and I'm just sitting on fucking speakerphone like this, like, yeah, okay, G, all right, okay, yeah, all right, okay. So where's that hangout? Where's that link at? It's on your channel, okay. All right, so I went and watched the G-Man, and it's you telling everyone else what Steve thinks. I'm waiting on the link for Steve saying the words kind of out of his mouth with the language and the letters and the punctuations and stuff implied and the construction of the language around the stuff that's in his brain. Like, I'm trying my best to be patient because I know he's full of shit. I know that he misheard what Steve had said. And so now he's dug himself in a hole, and he has too much pride to admit that he's wrong. That's what's really happening. And so he's now created this wicker man. It's gone from a straw man to a hay man. Now it's a fucking wicker man. We about to fucking burn this bitch down. Because it's just warped out of fucking control. And it's sad. Because it has nothing to do with anyone has said. I see Mr. Intelligent Design in there. I mean, you know what? Edgar, just calm down, bro. You stick to dropping eggs through fucking tissue and leave science to people who actually can count to fucking 10 without using their fingers, alright? So, anyway. It has everything to do with G-Man's personality. It has nothing to do with his theology. It has nothing to do with how much he believes or how much he wants to, profess the gospel. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do that a grown man with the mentality of a 6-year-old cannot for the life of him admit that he's wrong and go, you know what? I was mistaken. I'm sorry. What's your argument? Let's have an organic conversation, because I think you're suppressing the truth and you're in righteousness. But I can't prove that right now, but let's see where the conversation goes. I would have more respect for him if he did that. Even though that truth and righteousness bullshit is a fucking cop-out, because he can't form an argument, and the rest of them that say that shit can't form an argument. That's fine, right? I can accept that as long as they acknowledge that that's strictly biased, it's strictly just a baseless assertion that stems from their theology. That's honest. That's what I can deal with the mischaracterization of my argument if people are honest as to where it comes from. Then I can somewhat make a connection with what's happening here, because there's some kind of motivation going on. Of course, they didn't just pull out of their ass, and it's like it's an obligatory thing that they have to do, and I mean the radical evangelicals. They have to put forth this thesis that's unsupported in order for everything else to work. So it's understandable to a degree, and I think giving folks enough latitude to kind of work with that is important if you want any conversation to go on, because if you listen to some of the stuff that he says, that's his fallback. Like that's his default position, is that everyone's suppressing the truth and is in righteousness. To me, that's him not being able to acknowledge the fact that some people genuinely just don't believe. Like it's not anything like remarkable. Oh, so what? He doesn't believe in other gods. Okay, that's not remarkable. But for him, this stuff is so important that it hurts his soul. It hurts who he is. So he has to kind of like make up something in order to make everything fit. Which, fine. Yes, people want to hear about this shit. People want to hear about G-Man and what I think. I wouldn't get 70 fucking viewers if nobody wanted to hear about it. When we had the calculus hangout, I got like, we got 14, Steve, what did we get, 14 viewers? We did Taylor series, we got 10. So don't complain that I'm talking about G-Man, but nobody show up to have the math hangout. I don't want to hear that shit. So talk to everybody else who asked me, okay, what's going on? And what stupid shit has he said now? So it's yeah, everyone loves drama. Yeah, Sam, this is on my phone. I can't invite anybody to this, but I'll probably end up doing a hangout a little later. I gotta fry some more catfish for. Oh shit! Oh, that's not the right time. Dear, send me a text message. What time is it? Because I think I gotta pick up my son in an hour. Okay. Yeah, we're on Central Time. Okay, but the phone just crapped out and I had to restart it. But yeah, so we gotta get our son a little over an hour. So after we get him, I'll start up another hangout, and probably I don't think it'll be another G Logic hangout, but I want to talk a little bit about how non-evangelicals approach professing what they believe, because I am a little miffed about the conversation I had with Fuzz I don't think that he directly answered the question that I was trying to put forth in Rational Mind instead. And even with my follow-up, I could tell that he didn't want to address the genetics that's behind phylogenetics, and so yeah, I want to definitely get into that. I don't think fuzz. Yeah, and see, Apollo. Yeah, exactly. Like that's. I want to specifically address that because I'm not going to take away the guy's demeanor. He's very poised, very calm, very polite. But I want to address that particular area of the kind of the obfuscation that happens, and just the kind of the droning on, you know, a la fucking what's his name, Rabbi Sakari style. Like that's, I want to address that because it is infuriating when it's like I'm talking to fucking wet paint. But that's going to be that's gonna happen in about an hour and a half after I get my son, because I'll probably start frying some catfish around that time because my wife ate the last of my fucking catfish. Oh, I'm just gonna get a little bit. Oh, I'm just gonna take half. I know you're watching too. Last of my fucking catfish. I'm gonna fry the rest of it tonight. But anyway. But yeah, no, the G-Logic series is me breaking down the stupidity that is G-Man. I usually will put his video in the description to show people what I'm responding to and why. And so, you know, people enjoy hearing me talk about this stuff. I don't know why. Yes, it's the same stuff, but if you want to hear me talk about the, you know, math specifically, like calculus and stuff like that, there's a GDC channel where we're doing that. If you want to hear something new, if I had a discussion with a vegan who is secretly formerly the Infidel Guy. If you're familiar with the Infidel Guy show, Reginald Finley, I had him on, and he and I actually need to have another discussion. So I will be having Oceans Keltoy. I don't know if anybody wants to participate, but Oceans Keltoy will be joining me in a few days for a conversation on what polytheism actually is. So we're going to do some stuff on that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to give commentary on G-Man. And yes, you need a lot of patience to talk to him. You need a hell of a lot of patience. If you don't have patience, you can't deal with G-Man, because one of the things that he's going to do, and I know there are certain folks in the chat and certain folks have openly said that they want to talk to him, but it's like I may make my jokes. The Tinder. I have my iPad here so I can see him, but if you do want to talk to G-Man, I'm not going to dissuade anybody from talking to G-Man. I'm not going to do that. I know certain folks who say, you know, he's just useless to talk to. It's actually a pretty fun experience. I'm not even going to lie. Like it's because, and this is just my opinion. You never know what he's going to turn your argument into. There's not going to be a time where you go, I think the sky is blue, and G-Man's going to say, oh, so you think the sky is blue? There's going to be, I think the sky is blue. Oh, so you hate all Christians and you want to turn them blue by killing them. Like, he will turn anything into anything else. Like, he will transmogrify your argument into something so ridiculous that you'll spend the greater portion of the conversation just trying to wonder how his brain has concocted this scrambling mechanism to just completely obfuscate any type of argument that you have made and go off in any number of directions. This is a text message from Hannah, sorry. Oh shit, Sam got pictures. Got pictures. I'm gonna still talk, but I'm gonna look at these pictures. But yeah, if you want to go and talk to him, if you think that you can talk him down and talk some sense into him, go for it. If he hasn't blocked you. If you think that you can, you know, talk some sense into him, I can tell you right now, it ain't gonna happen. He ain't been listening to nobody for the last 4 or 5 years. He sure as hell ain't gonna listen to you now. Coffee and falafels, ice cream, okay. But yeah. What?
I got an interview tomorrow.
Yeah, interview. Fuck yeah, interview, bitch. With who?
A law firm.
A law firm.
Intermittent. They're trying to find somebody right now.
Right now, good,
Full
good,
time.
good. Get some clothes together. Good shit. My wife got an interview. I always stop for that. Trying. She takes some. Sam, this girl takes some horrible fucking pictures. Man, oh. I'm not feeling the pictures where she's like with the, like the. That. You know the picture I'm talking about. That third one. I like the mud picture though. That's a cool picture. I like that one. The one where she's on the balcony is not. That's not too bad. The one Disneyland, that's a candid shot. Yeah, it's not supposed to look cool, but see, Sam, I like the other girl better. Like the one you showed me like what 2 weeks ago. Whoa, man! I wish I could show you guys, but nah. Anyway, but no. If you want to go and you think that you can put forth to G-Man some really basic stuff, there's so many of them. You know, not the one that like because there were actually, yeah, because you sent me two last time, Sam. There was one that looked, she was good, like she was good looking, but the other one kind of had like the mannish like chin, like the incredible chin with the little dimple too. Like she like received way too many genes from her fucking dad. That, not that one, the other one. I'll have to dig it up, but yeah. Anyway. So, she was okay. I've not worked out in forever, so it's like built up fat on top of some muscle in there, and it's in the shape of what should be. So there you go. She deleted my match. Oh fuck, you fucked that one up, Sam. That's on you. She was good. Oh man. Oh. If I wasn't married. Just kidding, dear. But no, if you want to go and you want to talk to any Clown Car Posse member, it can be True, it can be Antonio, it can be Arcane, G-Man, whoever. You have to know who you're dealing with any of these guys. There's a reason they all fear me, and I'd say that quite sternly. They have a begrudging respect for me, and any one of them will tell you that they have a begrudging respect for me, but they don't like me. And I understand. I completely understand why True doesn't like me. Completely understand why G-Man doesn't. I will not disagree with them for that. I completely agree. But I know who I'm dealing with. I know. So, it is what it is. If you want to talk to G-Man, you have to understand that you need to give him a lot of latitude when he's talking. You can't curb his fucking 60 segues into topics that have nothing to do with the topic. He's not going to let you interject and go, okay, G-Man, we're talking about we're talking about fucking cosmogony. We're not talking about, you know, biological evolution. Like the two topics, like of course in the grand scheme of things, everything relates. Like you can connect anything to anything. But in his mind, he can connect anything to anything because in his head it matters and everything's relevant because everything just rolls around in there. He doesn't have anything actually stored into relevant, you know, compartments like a fucking normal adult. But he can somewhat stay on topic. But my apartment ain't got shit in it, bro. I'll tell you right now. I got a recliner my in-laws bought for me. But not unlike the dentist system, but he just throws shit in his brain, and it's somewhat relevant. It's somewhat. That's why you'll hear him when he's talking about the definition of atheism, which was one of his recent videos. He's bringing up LaVeyan Satanism. He's bringing up the New Age movement. He's bringing up everything unrelated to the topic because in his brain somehow he has misunderstood the English language to the point. Hold on. Motorbike. He has misunderstood the English language to a point that it's hard for him to comprehend even the simplest of things. And case in point, the whole him not understanding hyperbole is a bit extreme, but that's just a remark on his education. When it comes to things that are literal and figurative, that's more so I would say that's more so indicative of the fact that he doesn't care for context, because he can read in context certain things when he's doing his apologetics for certain Bible verses. He knows that, But context doesn't matter if it's anything outside of the purview of Christianity. It never matters. And you'll see that when when you're telling him, let's say the different divisions between people who proclaim that there is no God, and people who say that I simply don't have a position on it, and people who say that, you know what, I remain unconvinced, and people who are like theological non-cognitivists when I can't even fucking evaluate the claim. Like I just can't. Like there's different shades of that. There's a spectrum. Emails. My mother's texting me. I'm sorry. There's different shades of this all, but these divisions don't matter to him at all. Thanks, Jim. None of the divisions actually matter, and that should be disconcerting for folks. And you should understand that if you want to talk to G-Man, because I've told him this. I've told him this in person, that for me, the God claim at the end of the day doesn't matter. I'm less interested in whether this God exists, and we can talk about whether I can assume for the sake of argument that it exists, and I can tell you why I would not worship it. We can have that conversation. I can put my Christian hat on or my theist hat on and do that. I have no problem, because that would be a fun exercise. But G-Man's more so worried about trying to put you in a box so that you're easier to deal with, rather. And that is because he does not have the skill set to have organic conversations. In an organic conversation, we can begin to talk about, the meaning of life, and then go into, what system of ethics do we subscribe to, and then we could go from there to, whether these certain set of traits are nature versus nurture, or is it either or, the combination. Like there's a flow of conversation that can happen, and it's just this undulating mass of words and rhetoric and narrative and yada 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 yada. But G-Man can't really do that. He can't follow a flow. He can only change it when the conversation gets uncomfortable for him, or he just runs out of information, which happens routinely. Case in point, if you watch the conversation or debate that we had for charity for Gus, where I agreed to indulge him, and he couldn't stay on topic to save his fucking life, and so I agreed beforehand to put on kid gloves and not really go in on him like I would normally, just for entertainment's sake, and to kind of keep things civil, because if he goes full G-Man and he can't control himself, then the whole thing turns to shit, and he rage quits, and he gets all upset, and he goes on his channel, he cries and pisses on himself like he normally does. I'm just going to go fucking laugh at him. I'm going to go watch a video today, and I'm going to go laugh at him. That's all that's going to happen. This shit doesn't affect me like it affects him. I'm not going to lose sleep over G-Man throwing a hissy fit. I have a 6-year-old. I'm sorry. I helped raise my 3 younger brothers. I've been in the fucking military. This shit ain't going to shake me. It's not going to happen. You know what it is? Pissing my wife off because she thinks I'm being mean. That's going to shake me. I'm going to lose sleep over that. That's the sort of thing that matters. But if he wants to increase the conduciveness of conversations, then it's incumbent upon him to say, you know what, maybe I should change some shit about myself. Maybe I shouldn't spend the last fucking month strawmanning a dude who has overtly fucking said that that's not my goddamn argument. You would think, thank you, Bullion, you would think that if I really cared about a conversation, I might spend more time to actually think about what the other person is saying. If I say, EO, oh man, you think Lamarckism is fucking cool? You're an idiot. EO goes, what are you talking about? I am not a fucking neo-Lamarckian. What are you, I'm not, I say, okay, well, you said this, this, and this about organisms developing during their lifetime and then passing it on. He's like, no, I was simply remarking about Lamarck and, some of his postulates, and, I think that I could see how it was intuitive during his time, and that I was somewhat agreeing with just how intuitive it is. I wasn't saying that I agree with it. I said, okay, then my mistake, EO. I misheard that. I misinterpreted that, and that's how a conversation should go when you misinterpret someone's argument. That's how things should happen. it's, you know, it's interesting because it comes down, like I said before, to his ego. And he needs this to feed his ego. I don't need this to feed my ego. I have conversations with folks on my phone who fucking call me, where if we want to stroke egos, we can fucking get on Skype and do it the proper way. Like, this is not how to do it. But when he's on here, he has to put up a front. He has to put up this image that he knows more than he actually does. God, everyone wants to send me a fucking message. God damn it. Fuck. Hold on. Ooh, no. So, it's more about what he wants to put forth and not about the actual conversation being had. He doesn't really care about getting people's arguments accurate. Case in point, Jim and Jade, and I'm going to mention this, when Jade had offered to fucking debate him, and she was, why y'all keep, fuck you, Hannah. God damn it. Now, okay, you know what? I got you. But, when Jade went inside G-Man's hangout, live chat last night, I was watching, because her icon's very recognizable. And she asked, okay, G-Man, I'll have a conversation, which I would debate with you, whatever. You know. But she asked him a simple question. I think it's simple because, well, I was raised around Catholics in Louisiana. I was born in St. Tammany Parish. I kind of know just a little bit about Catholicism. Just a little bit. Man, fuck you, Hannah. I hate you. You know what? I hope, you know, I'm not going to say it's, okay, I got you. So, that's Hannah sending me text messages. I can't, hold on, let me, fuck. Do this stupid, okay, fuck, let me turn this, there we go. Alright, so, where was I? So, the question that Jade posed was, can Catholics gain salvation through only works? Simple question. I'm an atheist. I know the answer to that question. No. They cannot. You don't gain salvation through just works. That's not how that works at all. No pun intended. So, where the fuck did he get that from? It's the Council of Trent or something, according to him. I've never heard that. So, G-Man wants people to focus on the claims that he makes as a Christian and not, you know, claims of other Christians, because he believes that he has the one true version of Christianity, whatever. But he never extends that to anybody else, any other demographic, any other group of people. It's so weird. So weird that he wants people to consider his beliefs and what he says, but he's not interested in doing that for himself. Hannah, I put it on fucking vibrate so you can keep sending all those fucking messages you want, but no one's gonna hear it. So, but anyway, he's not interested in actually understanding what people are saying. And, you know, hold on. Drag G-Man needs to work on his people skills. He seems to just be stubborn with other. Yeah, he has very little social skills. He's very socially inept. Like I said, I can tell you from personal experience, the dude has not gotten out a lot. You can really tell that. Like, he can crack jokes, he can have good time, but he really needs to work on. Like, but I don't think that there is. I don't think there's enough people who have enough patience, because you have to have a lot of patience to have him around you. A lot of patience. You need a whole day worth of fucking patience. I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing my family around him, because eventually my son's going to get irritated, my wife's going to get irritated, and we don't have to go. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I know Red is with you. I understand what you guys are doing. But as somebody who was raised around Catholics, I can tell you there's a pejorative that, and the Catholics in the fucking chat will tell you that I'm not lying about this. There's a pejorative that certain Catholics use for other Catholics, and they're called cafeteria Catholics. And so that pejorative is made to point out that not all Catholics, you know, accept all doctrines, you know, from these fucking the establishment of the Catholic Church and the papacy till now. Like there are a lot of Catholics who are cafeteria Catholics who pick and choose, and so in order to understand what a Catholic believes, the best thing would be to, I don't know, ask them. Like, is it really that hard? Every Catholic that I've ever spoken to, and I've spoken to a lot, I have a lot of Catholic friends, they have no problem telling you. Yeah. Oh, watch out, G-Man gonna make a video exposing your ignorance. Oh. But yeah, it's like I said, I was raised around these folks, born in St. Tammany Parish. Went to school with Catholics, had a Catholic fucking church, ringing that goddamn bell at what, 2:30 or 3 o'clock or whatever. I don't know when that bell rang, but it got on my fucking nerves. And we would talk about it. We would talk about what the bell means. We would talk about what the theology means. We would talk about religion, philosophy. You know, this was the kind of stuff that I did when I went to school. You know, so it's like, one of the best things you could do is talk to somebody and find out what their beliefs are. Not just go, oh, well, I don't need to talk to you. I'll just fucking assume all this shit because I read it on the internet. Like, I don't understand how much trouble you're in. Yeah, he's going to make a video. Run for your life. Yeah, I know, right? Sergeant Major's after me. Oh, no. I stepped on his grass. Only 3 people in the fucking comments are going to get that joke, but whatever. So, it's like, if you want to find out what they believe, and you say, you know what, I read that you guys subscribe to this belief where you can gain salvation through works. How about this? You know what, I read this, you claim this. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. And since I am not the one that holds the belief, how about I shut the hell up and let you speak? That should be the proper decorum in a hangout where you aren't the person putting forth the position. When I'm in my hangouts, how often do you hear me fucking speak? Think about it. When I'm in other people's hangouts, yeah, I'll speak a lot. But if I invited Reggie, Reginald Finley, the MPL guy, he's a fucking vegan. It was about veganism. He was my guest. Guess what? He got to fucking speak 90% of the time because he's the guest. He's bringing the topic. He's bringing the information. I don't know dick all about veganism, but they're funny people. That's it. They're funny motherfuckers. That's all I know. I can criticize them, but I first need to learn a little bit about him. I need to let him speak. I need to let him get his positions out first before I go on carrying on about what I think I know. You don't see that with G-Man. When G-Man starts a video about somebody or something, he'll start by telling them what their position is. Think about that for a second. You invite them to your channel to have a conversation about a topic on whatever subject that you don't necessarily agree with, but you're telling them what they believe. What fucking sense does that make? You doing 90% of the talking. Really? Like, yeah, one of the things that has always annoyed me about G-Man is the instance and his insistence to argue with people just for the sake of arguing, and that sarcastic cackle he does. Yeah, that cackle is actually a tell. When he's nervous, he does that cackle. Just watch him. When he's trying to make a point about something, and he's not too sure about it, he'll do that cackle to kind of cover it up. So he does it a lot, even in person. He does it a lot. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Okay. Like, all right, bro. To give you an example, he did that cackle when he said he could beat MP in chess. And MP wrote down the last few moves, wrote down what G-Man was going to do, the last few moves, and how G-Man was going to lose to him. He wasn't laughing after he got his ass handed to him, I'll tell you that much. But that goes to show you that ego, I got the best of him. I haven't seen it for a million dudes. That ego will get the best of you. Like does G-Man act the same towards white women in person? I think I'm surprised he didn't get hit by a car. But I think we stayed near the area I think we were fairly close to Harlem. I don't, you know, I have to look at it again. But his demeanor changes when white women are in the picture. he calms down. I was G-Man acting. It's yeah. Oh, you met him too, Lyrical. You did. Man, did he calm the fuck down? You gave him some sedatives? Gave him some locks of your hair? Because he was all over the fucking place. Yes, in New York. Oh man, Lyrical, you went to New York? Should have came with us. Played pool. What else did y'all do? Did you teach him some of those meditative techniques? On how to woo-sa, namaste? How to calm the fuck down? Should have did that. How does his online personality carry over in person? Okay. The whole childish competitiveness, that's still there. That need to be the center of attention, that's still there. Not listening to you when you're this close to him, that's definitely a thing. Let's see. I gotta think of what else. I'm about to go back inside. Get this. Yeah, just that general level of competitiveness. Like he's always looking and talking and open the goddamn door. What? Did you really lock this door? Open this shit up. You don't lock the door for you know I'm out here. Why you lock the door? Yeah, very pretentious. Yeah, it's. Oh, you gonna lock the other door? I'm gonna whoop your ass. Y'all about to see some spouse abuse. I got you. You think that's funny? You didn't mean to lock the door? Okay. Y'all about to see spouse abuse. But, like, what MOS would G-Man have in the Army? Oh, that's a good question. Oh. Ah, that's a good question. He would not be a 25 series. I know that. That requires too many brain cells. No, G-Man's not acting. That childish, stupid shit that he does that in person too. So, yeah, he wouldn't be a 25 series because that definitely takes a bit of brain power. Hell, nothing Intel. Nothing Intel. 88 Mike. You know what? I think, yeah, I would have... yeah, he could probably do 88 Mike. I would say that. I would say, yeah. I'm trying to think of... I was going to say a 13 Charlie, but I think they have to do math. If someone... Feel free to correct me, guys, but I think 13 Charlies have to do math. But I know they're the redheaded... 42... No. Okay, look, I'm gonna make fun of my mother-in-law real quick. My mother-in-law's a 42 Alpha, and then she was a chaplain's assistant. So I don't feel comfortable with G-Man in S1 at all. I'm gonna be completely serious. I know he's definitely not gonna be an S6, but I just like in the S shop at all. I don't feel comfortable with him anywhere near the S shop whatsoever. 42 Alpha is not a hard job. You're just literally doing paperwork. That is your job in the Army, is paper bitch. That's what we call him, paper bitch. But they process people's promotions paperwork, you know, ETSing, PCSing. Huh? She what?
She has a PhD.
Your mom does not have no fucking PhD. Your mom has a master's, and I helped her get that fucking master's. Shit. Don't play me. But no, it's like you have to have some level of competence to do 42 Alpha. Shit burner. You know what? Fuck it. 11 Bang Bang. I think that's the only thing he can't fuck up. 11 Bang Bang.
That sounds like a sex position.
11 Bang Bang is 11 Bravo. Infantry.
Did you set this up?
Yeah. Push the red button back and then push the thing down. You see?
Thank you.
And so I think that's the only thing, like, at worst case scenario, he'd get himself killed. You have to actually know some kind of math for indirect fire. And for like any type of field artillery, you have to know some type of math. Because I rolled out with them with like mortarmen and shit like that, and you actually do.
Like, he'd be the guy that you send to rush the fucking hill because he's dumb. I mean, it'd be better that he kill himself than get anybody else killed. Sorry, that's how war is, folks. If it's a dumb motherfucker that is incompetent, he's gonna get everybody killed. So you send his ass to go do what needs to be done. But I wouldn't feel right giving G-Man a weapon, given how he's held weapons like that. What was that fucking? It wasn't a Bowie knife. It was a bayonet that he had in his hand. He didn't even know how to hold that right. So, oh God, no. No. I think he'd make great, inspiration for morning PT. Like if his job was just to appear for morning PT and that was it, I think he'd be great. Like, that's all you do. You show up, you get everybody pumped up, motivated. Sergeant Major slaps him on the ass, and he's good to go. After that, I don't want to see your ass until 06:30 in the next morning. That's it. Don't make the fucking uniform look stupid, because I can only imagine how dicked up his fucking uniform would be. And I mean dick, like boot, his no boot blousers. The fucking tongues will be all out. Just all types of fucking dicked up. And let you be his fucking battle buddy and have him try to correct him. Hey, Battle, your shit's fucked up. Fix your fucking collar, dickhead. You don't tell me what to do. It's like, okay. Then Sergeant Major comes walking down. It just so happens, always. It's Sergeant Major. Hey, soldier. Why is your uniform dicked up? Sergeant Major, I tried to tell. Shut the fuck up. Why is your uniform dicked up? Well, Sergeant Major. No. Have your whole unit fucked up. No. Who's a better soldier, G-Man or Prudy? If you put Prudent in a hole so he can't fuck anything up, I think he'd do a good job. Prudent's the kind of guy you do put in the S shop because nobody wants to put up with him. He would do his job perfectly, like bar none. But just don't talk to him about anything. Like, he's just one of those savants that his job is made for him, and he was born to do that job. But you're not inviting him out with the guys to go to fucking class 6 after work. Ain't gonna happen. Nope. If he were my battle, I would kill him myself. Yeah, that's pretty much, soup sandwich, exactly, yes. G-Man, that's perfect. For those of you who don't know military jargon, soup sandwich is one of the worst insults you can give somebody. G-Man is a walking soup sandwich. Just think about it. You don't have to understand what it means. Just think about a soup sandwich. Visualize what that would be. It looks stupid, doesn't it? It makes no sense, does it? There you go. Soup sandwich. That's it. G-Man is a walking soup sandwich. I would hate to have him in my fucking unit. I couldn't. Oh God, no. Ooh, no. Drag, would you say that G-Man has went full on troll at this point intentionally? No. And here's why. Because he tried to walk back his claim in his last video by deferring to the historical definition of atheism. I think he's starting to acknowledge now that he fucked up. If he hadn't made that, then I would kind of agree with you. But go watch the last video, and he is kind of starting to backpedal just a bit. I see the hints of it. Could you imagine G-Man with an M4 with a round in the spout? Oh God. Oh God. Oh. No. Even my phone crapped out for that. I've been in the troop where a fucking brand new private didn't clear his fucking weapon and the clearing barrel. I'm not talking about the bitch that's in the fucking barracks next to the guy barracks. I'm talking about like an actual clearing barrel. And he had a fucking negligent discharge and I almost fucking strangled him. So you don't endanger Doc's life. And it's like, I can only imagine how many negligent discharges this dude would have in a day and would get his ass beat every single fucking time until he stopped doing it. But that's one of the things that I don't play with is people being stupid with weapons. Don't do that shit around me. I will fucking strangle the private for flagging me with his fucking weapon. And that just instantly see red. So yeah, that's a no-no for me. I can imagine G-Man getting corrected by a drill sergeant and arguing his way into a chokehold. So happy you own the name Doc. Yeah, I didn't play. I didn't play when the fucking you had this new kid who came in and he was around my size, and so he would talk. He still thought he was a gangster. He thought he was a gangster, and he started picking on this kid half his size. What was the kid's? This kid's name was he had a real Jewish name. And I fucked with him because I had to go in process him. His name was Nikovjevskis or something. I still can't pronounce it. So I looked at his paperwork that he got from S1. And I said, "Your name is what? Nikovjevskis?" And I said, "Is that your fucking name, Private?" He said, "No, it's Nikovjevski." I was like, Nikovjevskis? What the fuck? What kind of fucking name is this? And so I brought him to the troop, and I brought him to the biggest, blackest fucking NCO that I could find. I said, "Hey, Sergeant, come here for a second." He said, "What you need, Doc?" I said, "You see this dude's name is Nikovjevskis?" He said, "What? His name is what?" Stand at ease, Private. What the fuck gave you that name? And so we started fucking with this kid. I said, this poor kid, he was just shaking. He's like, ah! He's like, "What did I do?" So I said, "Come on, we gotta go to First Sergeant." I said, "Hey, First Sergeant." And so First Sergeant was this 5'11", little skinny Filipino dude, First Sergeant Quimba. I said, "Hey, First Sergeant, you see this dude's name?" He's like, "Is that motherfucker who went to go get?" I was like, "Yeah, that's him, First Sergeant. His name is Nikovjevskis. His name is, what the fuck you say, Doc?" I said, "His name is Nikovjevskis, First Sergeant. Look at this shit." And he said, "Come here, Private." He said, "Stand right there." He started grilling him. And so we got done fucking with him. And I said, "I'm just fucking with you, man. Welcome to Alpha Troop." And so you better grow some thick fucking skin. You better grow some thick skin to hang around us. He said, "I got you, Doc." I said, "All right, go unpack your shit and be back here." Go in the orderly room and talk to Sergeant Hernandez. He's gonna tell you what platoon you're gonna be in. And so I started sitting there fucking with First Sergeant. But yeah, like that's so this anyway. I had to tell that story to give you an idea. Nick, he was a good kid. Like he was real young, real skinny kid. But then this fucking punk, I forget his name, but he started fucking with him. I'm like, you know what? You trying to call Nikovjevskis out? How about this? When I say call him out, he was to do Army Modern Combatives. It's pretty much the Army's version. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, you 35 series? Yeah, see? Yeah. Something told me. He 35. But I think India Battery next to us was all 35 series. It was either India. I had to ask Geistview because Geistview was in my unit. And he was in the troop next to me because I was in Alpha Troop. And then India Battery was next to us. And I want to say India Bat had all the 35 series. Like I got to check with him because I don't remember. But it might have been Bravo Troop too. I don't know. But anyway, this punk, I forgot the dude's name, but he was fucking with Nikovjevskis, and he was trying to challenge him to a fight, doing Modern Army Combatives. And that, like I said, that's the Army's equivalent to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I said, "No, you're not gonna fuck with him. If you want to fight somebody, fight me. And I'm the medic. I'm not infantry. But I still had to qualify for this because I'm rolling out with infantry. And so I rolled that motherfucker the fuck up. Like I told him, if you ever challenge Nikovjevskis to a fucking fight, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna whoop your ass." And so I said it right in front of his fucking squad leader, in front of his platoon sergeant, and I said, "Let me know, Sergeant. Please call me." And he says, "All right, Doc. All right, Doc talking shit, But I did. I rolled him the fuck up, and he ended up giving up because we went 3 rounds, and I put a hurting on his ass. But he just, he thought he could just put his weight on somebody, and he didn't actually employ any of the techniques that we taught at all. I was like, this is too much. Like I was stronger than him as is, but you're a 68 series Boolean? That's what's up. See, there we go. Ooh. But yeah, I didn't like that shit. Like, why are you gonna pick on the kid half your size and literally the entire fucking rest of the training room filled with dudes your size? You was 91, bro. Oh no, you old. You were old school then. That was back when it was 91 series. Yeah. You've had, oh wow, you've had to been out at least 20 years now then? Because they I want to say that's around the time that they switched 91 series. Yeah, so yeah, 20 years, yeah. Because now it's 68 series. All medical is now 68. But yeah, Combat Medic used to be 91 series, and then I'm not sure why they did the switch, but yeah, it was about 20 years ago. So I still remember that. But yeah, that kid ended up getting kicked out because he had some drug problem, and I'm not talking about like he smoked a little weed, because kids make stupid mistakes, whatever. But like I think he had like cocaine or some shit. I was like, fuck. Well, I'm not surprised. But yeah. So anyway, I'm not sure how I went on that tangent, but I would not want G-Man in my troop. I would not want him in my battalion. I don't want him anywhere near any uniform service. I don't think that he could pass. I don't think he could pass MEPS. Like, I don't even think that he can do that, to tell you the truth. All you gotta do is wake up. You go to MEPS, you wake up, you stand in line and answer questions, and you write your fucking personal information on paperwork. Like, that's all you gotta do with MEPS, and get your EA negative ass fab. Like, you get 10 points just for signing your name. I don't think G-Man could. Like, he's probably in pretty good physical shape. To pass a PT test, well, congratulations. I'm sorry, putting on the uniform requires a little bit more than that. I've seen many dudes who were physically fit, but they didn't have it up here. They didn't have it in their heart. They just didn't. So, you know what his next video is? Drag said Christians can't be in the army. Yeah, that'll be the next video. Yeah, it's like, you know how many Christians I serve with? Some of the best conversations I've had with Christians were in the army, where because everybody's equal. Well, if you're near the same rank, but if everything being equal, you put your shit out there, and it's none of this, trying not to hurt anybody's feelings. This is, it is raw. Like, it is raw. My first squad leader was a radical evangelical Christian, and he challenged me, and so this is early on in my YouTube career when I really didn't know how to differentiate between agnostic and atheist, because he pulled one of those. Well, there are no actual atheists. They're just everyone who says they're atheist is actually agnostic, because you don't know if God exists. And I was like, well, yeah, you're right about that. And so I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. And so, yeah, he pulled a fast one on me with that, but I learned from it. Like, it was a good learning experience. But he was a good guy. Overall, he was a good guy. He was definitely radical evangelical. Oh yeah, but he wasn't G-Man incompetent. He was just kind of socially awkward. But yeah, it is interesting place, and I can't wait to hear Isaiah's stories, because I think Isaiah's a 25 series, if I'm not mistaken. So he's gonna have some interesting folks to deal with. Very interesting folks, because all the 25 series I know, the 25 series folks that I knew, they're always those guys whose intelligence always outranked their actual rank. Like, they were usually the smartest guys in the room, but you would never know, because they don't speak unless you're another 25 series. If you're not in their little group, and they're playing fucking Xbox and shit while everybody else out in the field. Yes, I'm salty. I'm salty as fuck about that. I'm sorry. I had to go without showers for fucking days upon weeks. I'm salty as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. So I couldn't even qualify with my M9 because I went out in the field so much. Everybody else at headquarters got to. Oh, when Doc, you didn't get your M9 qualification. How did that happen? Oh, I'm sorry. I had to go out to the fucking line with Alpha Troop. My bad. Was there anybody else? Like, fuck me, right? I'm still mad about that. Still mad. But I'm not gonna lie. I would really enjoy smoking the dog piss out of him. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'd be right there laughing my ass off. Well, pretending not to watch, but laughing my ass off. Like, I think G-Man thinks that he's in good physical shape, but he's never been smoked in his life. I've been smoked quite a few times, and doesn't matter how good a shape that you think that you're in, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Just oof, making sugar cookies all day long. Lots and lots of sugar cookies. Lots of sand angels. Woo, fuck. Oh, go out to the back 40 and go have some fun. Front back goes, yes. Oh, fuck front back. Oh God. Oh. You. Especially if you got a sadistic fucking first sergeant who likes kettlebells, and I'm like, you just, yeah, go until I'm tired, yeah. Fuck. Yeah, the NCOs and the Alpha Troop were just mean. Like the folks in Alpha Troop 111 were so mean. They stopped smoking privates. Like when the private would do something fucking just dumb, they would put him in a corner and make his nose touch the wall. They put him in a corner like he's 6 years old. And you see a grown ass man in uniform with his face near the shitter because he said or he did something stupid, just absolutely dumb. I can't tell you how many times I walk through troop and I'm just like, what the fuck is he? Oh, Doc, don't talk to him. He's in timeout. And I'm like, Roger, Sard. I just keep walking. It's like, all right. It just shake your head. I was just aghast. Like, fuck. That's sad. That's sad. Like, put his nose on the wall. Like, that was dumb. Go stand over there. Who was it? It was Sergeant Ellis. Sergeant Ellis would do that. I gotta talk to him. He's still on my Facebook, actually. Sergeant Ellis would do shit like that to privates. I just looked at him. He's like, what, Doc? Sergeant Ellis was nasty, though. I still remember the video. Fucking him and his battle lived over in Barstow, and some like I think their neighbor, some girl, their neighbor that lives in their apartment complex, like she accidentally bumped their car. And it's like, no, let's not call the insurance, let's not get them involved. Maybe we can settle it. And that's not something you say to two infantrymen who are single. They convinced this girl, instead of calling the insurance agency, to have a fucking threesome and to film it. Don't know how these guys did it, but they filmed it, and then they came to the troop the next day and showed everybody. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And like, hey, Doc, come check this out. And he is balls deep in this girl. And I'm like, how the fuck did this, like, what? This is a fucking sharp complaint waiting to happen. Like, fuck. I mean, there were no females there, but fuck, I was just like, oh my goodness, I ain't see shit. I'm walking away. You ain't about to get me in this. No. And then they had round 2. But what time is it? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Steve, I may have to do this my hangout later then. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Steve is going to have his hangout in an hour. I'm going to take a little break, clean up, and get ready to go get my son from the bus and do a little homework with him in the meantime. So, folks, just open up that window, and I'll probably be in there with Steve a little later. But, yeah, I need to get some cleaning up done because I've been having too much fun on the internets today. And I need to get my own shit together because I have school next Monday. Actually, yeah, I gotta get some of these notebooks. I'm ready for school. Let me show you. You see this? I got my my composition notebook ready. My Star Wars composition notebook. I'm ready for school. I'm ready. But anyway, I don't know what craziness G-Man is gonna come up with. What kind of weird ways he's gonna misconstrue some of the shit that I've said. Some of it obviously in jest, but we'll see. It's always a fascination with his information cruncher that exists somewhere in his head. But on that note, folks, y'all have a good day.